Once again, good evening to you all. I hope you can see my screen. Hello, are you with me, please?
Yes.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Yes,
All
yes,
right,
yes,
all
sir.
right. So once again, I'm using this opportunity to welcome each and every one of you here to this session titled as Social Engineering Awareness and Prevention. Of course, um, attackers are now taking advantage of social engineering, um, which is now playing the biggest link toward accessing our system, which is at the end just to cause a very serious damage into our businesses. So before I go deep into the session, I would like to introduce myself. As we hear from the convener of the session, my name is Aminu Idris. Um, I'm the senior security analyst at Station X and at the same time CEO founder of AI Vocational Training Institute of Cybersecurity. So that's a little about me. On proceeding, I want to ask you guys a question because from my screen, I believe each and every one of you can see something. We have a link with some right up at the top. So let's see if somebody can spot what is the mistake here. Do you have? Is there any mistake here in this link? Because we are talking about social engineering, and this session is going to be an interactive session, like I said. And we look at the theoretical aspect. That is the basic theoretical aspect regarding the social engineering, and then we'll proceed to have a practical example of how social engineering is being used to manipulate people into giving access to their confidential informations, which attackers are after. So please, anybody, can you spot the mistake here?
The
Yes.
mistake
What's the mistake?
after the first HTTP it's the
After,
second one. The first slash
yes,
HTTPS dot
yes,
slash there's a space there.
there is
A space there which shouldn't be there.
this space, right? Let
Yes.
me get my pen here. Let me get a pen. I'm coming. You mean this space? Oh,
Yes,
this
yes.
one? This one?
Yes. Yes, the
Okay.
spelling between the first one and the second one.
Okay, let's assume there is space here, maybe, and here, right? That's what you are
No,
Yeah.
saying.
the first one, the
Here,
second.
here only.
Yes.
I
This is
have
the
something to say.
Oh
okay.
no, not there.
Okay,
In
where?
between one and the second one.
In here? Is it here?
No, no, after the middle, the middle.
At the middle here, there is space.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. This is the mistake, right? You mean here?
Yes.
Okay. Next
My
person, please.
point of
I have something to say with me.
Okay.
The mistake, yeah, the mistake I discovered was that the www dots
Mm,
is not necessary. Yeah,
it's not
they
necessary. So
wrote
we have to remove
HTTPS.
this. This www is not necessary. Very good. Next person.
Yes, it's supposed to be okay.
Yes, it's supposed to be only HTTPS. Very good.
Yeah,
Next person, please. One more last person, please. Let's do this, please. Spot the mistake. Anybody? This is an Instagram link. But what's the mistake here? Is there any mistake in the link? That's what I'm asking. Hello, are you with me, please? Are we together?
yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we are together.
Okay.
For
That's
me, I'm
mean
not seeing any mistake.
no any mistake, sir, right?
Yeah,
That's
for
mean
me.
if I'm to send a link now, maybe if I'm to send a link attached with some information, all of you will feel victim of it. So let me show you the mistake. The mistake is basically not from the link. This is the mistake. We have double the. Can you find the mistake? That's the mistake. The mistake is not in the URL. So these are some of the techniques that the social engineers are using to manipulate people into falling victim in their hand by revealing some of their confidential information. So let's get deep into the session. So what is actually this social engineering entails? Like I said here, social engineering can be looking into two perspectives. That is to say, it is all about distraction or misdirection. Distraction in the sense that it will try to distract your attention, maybe by providing something that you may think it is legit while it is not. And through that, you may end up giving your confidential information, which the attacker will use at the end, have access to your system or do something that is going to cause a very serious damage. Misdirection in the sense that it may misdirect you into performing a certain task, which is going to put the whole organization into danger. A lot of companies nowadays are spending a lot of money on security, a lot of money, huge amount of money. But the major issue, the major threat for most more organization nowadays is this social engineering. You can decide to hire the best penetration tester in the whole world to come and pen test your system. From your end, you have done your part to secure the system, but a mistake, a single mistake from one of your employee by falling victim of social engineering can cause a very serious danger, can endanger the whole organization there. And this happened because as of current state we are now, human beings are much more easier to manipulate than even a system. Yes, that is the fact. And that is what we are going to talk about. So it is all about misdirection or distraction, anyone you take it. So what is this social engineering actually? Like I said, the bad actors loves to have information handed to them. Yes, actually, for you to attack a system or to attack an organization, the first step that any hacker will go is to have some basic information with regard to the organization. So, meaning that by this, what I'm just referring to is that you cannot attack what you don't know. Let me specifically talk about this. The major issues we have on our BTU business stuff and the rest of this is all because of some mistake that many of us used to make by giving access to the cPanel that where the site the script is hosted to maybe any kind of person, maybe to fix one or two stuffs there, which from there the person will take advantage of that, copy the script, study the script very well, and then from there you know how to target it. Not even in the first hand, not even to say that he have full access to the script, but one mistake you make there, and then from there it is going to be a very big mistake that you regret in your health. That a lot of people are losing a lot of money. So that is it. So, like I said, the bad actors list always they need information. They need information about either on if to say they are going to target organization, they are going to need an information about the organization. If to say it is human being that you are targeting, or in fact, whatever attacker will target, the first thing that he will have to do is he need to gather information that is going to lead him into having access into that organization. So we have to be very, very careful. So the second thing is that the bad actors use social engineering techniques to take advantage of people with trust. Yes, exactly. Somebody will sit down and can add an email. Some one stupid person from his maybe let's say from the comfort of his bed, he will sit down and create an email that is going to resemble maybe it one of the organization you're using, let's say a Google or maybe your bank will now try to convince you into clicking one of those. That's actually what entails. Normally, although we are coming to look at it anatomically, but the major issue that used to come with most of the emails, most of those kind of advert that the attackers are creating to make you reveal, maybe to make you give your confidential information to them, is At the end, definitely there is going to be a link. And if you click that link, that is actually where the serious issue is going to start. So it is as a result of trust, fear, politeness, and helpfulness. So it depends on the situation. We have different kind of situation whereby a person will try to manipulate you into giving out some information. It is later after you give, that's when you come to start thinking about how do I even give out this information? Well, you don't know he manipulates you in a way that you cannot even imagine. So it is not always on technical vulnerabilities in computer program or on system. Yes, like I said previously, you may decide to hire the best penetration tester in the world to come and secure your system. And then if your employees are not well educated on how to detect all those kind of phishing stuffs there, they may end up falling a victim, which is going to enforce a serious danger to the whole organization there. So it's very, very important. So that's what actually. So in brief, what social engineering entails, it involves manipulating people into giving out confidential informations, maybe like a credit card, a login details, and so many other stuff like that. So let's proceed. The most major common form of social engineering that is very common nowadays is phishing. Yes, that's the most common. A lot of links are being circulated on social medias, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram. Just because of you see a link, there was a bonus attached to it saying that if you click this link, you sign in, you'll get maybe, let's say, some even 1 GB, they will go for it. You get 100 naira airtime. In A lot of people are falling victim. So what this phishing entails is that normally it is a process whereby a scammer will try to pull you to think that someone is trusting you in order to do something. Maybe you may decide to receive an email. Somebody will claim to be your boss in an office, a CEO, and then trying to ask you maybe to give some information regarding maybe one of the login details for the site. He may try to, they are very, very smart in raising such kind of lies. So you have to be very, very smart. On proceeding, we have 7 types of phishing scams that you're supposed to know, which are very, very common nowadays. And the essence of phishing, although they are not mainly restricted to 7, we have a lot of them. But these are the most major ones that are very, very common nowadays, which you should know. And the expectation is that by the end of the session, whenever you come across any of those 7, maybe 7 types, or even not among, you can be able to detect and then do the needful, not proceeding to give out your information to the attacker directly. So let's look at these 7 types of phishing scams that you should know. The first and the most common dangerous scam is email phishing. Yes, email phishing is becoming a very rampant.
Okay, Aminu, sorry to interrupt.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, your slide I think is not showing again. I don't know if you are still presenting.
Wow. I'm still present. I don't know. Maybe the network. Let me see if I can resolve it.
Showing, showing.
It's showing, right?
Yes.
It's working now, right?
It's not working on my end.
No, it's working here.
I don't think it's showing.
It's not
No,
showing.
not
Wow.
showing it.
What
It's
happened to
not showing
this
again.
what's happened to this screen? God. Let me stop and then start it again. Very sorry.
Hello, hello. At my end, slide is showing. Maybe the network. From my end, the slide is showing.
Mm,
Thank you.
possible. Let me reproject it. Sorry. Wait a minute. Are we working now?
It's
Is it
working now.
showing now?
Yeah, it's working.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, like I was saying, email phishing scam is becoming very, very rampant, especially those days. Somebody will sit down from the comfort of his room, maybe create an email, claim to be the CEO, or email. Like I said, the attackers normally study individual before they even start launching the attacks. So they will monitor you to know the kind of all your movements there, know the kind of social media you use, the kind of word you use to speak, and all that. They will take advantage and then maybe create the email and then send it on behalf of your organization. Like I said here, it may look like an email from your bank. Maybe if you are a person that is using PayPal, it may be from the PayPal. If you are nobody, I think a lot of people are using Google product nowadays, so it may be maybe the person will claim to be maybe from the Google support or something like that, Amazon, and even your CEO. So how do you protect ourselves from this phishing scam since it is very rampant? That is going to lead us to discuss an anatomy of phishing email. How can you be able to detect that this is an phishing email? That's the question I'm going to try to answer now. Please, are we together?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right, all right, all right. So if you
Yes,
look at
sir.
this email, clearly,
Yes. Mhm.
it is an email from PayPal. Not originally from PayPal. The person that sent the email claimed that the email is from PayPal. So it is saying notice to customer. We need your help resolving an issue with your account. Meanwhile, to help protect your account, we have temporarily limited what you can do with it. What is going on? We notice some unusual activity on your PayPal account, and you are concerned about potential unauthorized account access. The next is action. What to do to rebut it? Please log in here. Look at it is not a real link that was exposed. It is a hyperlink to your people account. And then second instruction, follow the step there to confirm your recent account activity. Third, your people account will remain limited until you complete all the steps. Check my account and some other information there. So what are the criteria to follow to identify that this is a phishing email? The first one is if you look at the date critically, the date is in all format, that is European format. People will never send you a date in form of this European format. They will never send it. If you check the nature of dates that we used to receive email in form, you come to realize that it is not in European format. So that is the first red flag. The second red flag, if you look at the link, critically, it was sent from verify account at com, and then there is slide between security info information that base. There is no any legit domain that is associated to people here. So from there, it can be able to tell you that this is a phishing email. So if you look at the return email, it has a dash and something attached to it. Look at even the extension. It is not that com or that something. It is that this. So definitely you may begin to sense something. Let's proceed. If you look at it here, the salutation, notice to customer. Companies will never address you in form of this. Notice to customer. It is a red flag. While most of the companies will represent you as their sir, their ma, and some other salutation that they used to, but they will never address you in form of this. Look at notice to customer. It is a red flag. The next is the threat. We need your help. Look at resolving an issue with your account. It is just as the same thing as somebody calling you from your bank and say that I'm calling you from Access Bank. We log into your account and we find out that you are having issue. Please, can you send me the last 4 digits of your card? Abuse his father and call the code. That very person in bank will never ask you that. They will never do. They will never do that. If they need something, they have it already in the database. They can just use it, and then from there you are good to go. So the trade is that it is saying your account is limited or disabled until you do something. Most
Okay.
of the phishing
I'm say we
emails
don't
used
reach
to
back
come
this like
with
this.
a threat. But if you didn't so, hello, hello, are we together, please? It looked like there was a bit
Please, let's mute
interruption
ourselves.
from the other side. Okay, like I was saying, most of those phishing emails used to come with a threat. They will treat you that if you didn't do the needful, your account may become something. And people are very like that's why I say human beings are much more easier to manipulate than a system. If to say it is a system that normally is to detect, is to read and detect that this is a phishing email and do the needful, the system can easily detect it. But we are human beings. The threat we normally used to fall under the threat actually. So the next thing is if you look at it, it look like maybe they are acting like a favor. Look like they are doing favor to you. That they want to help you. Most of phishing emails used to come with such kind of issues like this. That maybe to help you resolve something, to help you restore something, to help you store something, to help you bring something back that you are trying to lost. So all those kind of things, they are red flag in emails. When you receive such kind of emails, even if the domain that was sent the email is legit, please, you are required to perform some investigation before you proceed and give out the information they require from you. Another important thing is please log in here to your PayPal account. Like I said, in every phishing email, there is always a link. Log in to your account to correct the situation or to rectify the situation or to restore the situation. Most phishing emails used to come with this issue. So you have to be very, very careful. It is a red flag. The next is we have another email which we are going to anatomically look into it. This email was claimed it was from the Bank of America. Look at the mail is from Bank of America. I believe the Bank of America I know will never send an email with this with this actually even from the name they are already fall victim. And then one mistake that most of those scammers used to make is that when writing email, God used to make them commit something into how will I even put it? A kind of something that is going to, if you are very, very careful about those email, you can easily detect that this is a phishing email. Yes, actually. Though there are some situations whereby though we are just praying, we're not praying for that. So the subject is read irregular activity. The date is clear, everything is clear. We have detected irregular activity on your account on the date 10/20/2016. For your protection, we have temporarily limited. Look at this one again. Limited your account. In order to regain full access to your account, you must verify the activity before we can continue using the account. We have sent an attachment. That's where the danger is. Open it, follow the step to verify your account. Once complete, allow up to 48 hours for update. And this is the attachment. Look at the attachment here. Irregular activity file.html. It is a HTML file. Maybe possibly there is a payload that was embedded into the HTML file. Immediately you open it, your browser is going to be hooked. Once the attacker hook into your browser, you can be able to do a lot of stuff there. You see, all those kind of links that are circulating on social medias, I can tell this 80% of them, 80% of them, even there are so many cases whereby a scammer will spend a lot of money, do search engine optimization so that whenever you search for a specific information regarding so product, his page is going to be appear at the top. And the moment you see it, you see, this is the best result I get. You click on it, you fall victim. You give him access. So, what are the red flags here? The first one is irregular activity. Yes, actually, that's the first one. Secondly, limited your account. It's a red flag. Regain full access to your account is another red flag. Look like they are doing favor, they limited something, they detect an issue. Always issue, issue, issue. Lot of that. We have to be very, very careful. So you must verify this activity or verify your account for you to be able to proceed. So you see, actually, this is how to identify a phishing email anatomically. Another important method of identifying or supporting an email it is a phishing is that you just hover over the link that was sent to you. You hover over it. That is when it is going to reveal the real link to you. Then from there, you may decide whether to proceed on clicking the link to visit the page or you ignore it. So this is another phishing mail. It said that did you recently verify your user ID or reset your password that you use? Manage your Express account online. If you disable this and then you intended to restore it back, you click on this link. If not, please click on this link, log in to Express. Even for this blue one that you see, it was clearly written https/American. When you hover it, you are going to get the real link. It is not the real link. So stop seeing a link just because of you see that it is written now. Yes, it is. We may have a situation whereby they will write the link correctly, but the link that was embedded into that link, it is not the link that was written there. So you have to be very, very careful. How can you protect yourself against that? You hover over it. When you hover over it, you can be able to detect the real link. And then from there, you make decision on whether to click and proceed or ignore the email completely. So in this case, the email is saying there is an issue with an American Express user account ID. Like I said, you can rebuild by hovering, hover over it, and do not click it. Don't click it. You just hover over it. If to say you are using system, you can hover. If you are using mobile phone, you can long press on it. Once you long press on the link, the real link, it is going to be displayed to you. And then from there, you can be able to decide whether to proceed to carry out the action that they requested you to do or not. So that is actually what the phishing email entails. The next, another important types of phishing that you're supposed to know is severe phishing. Yes, it's very, very common. A lot of people will receive a message, maybe directly into their inbox, claiming that maybe they want you to click a kind of link, maybe or open a particular attachment. Some are sending it in form of MMS. Yes, exactly. They used to do it. So the target actually it is specific. They research on you. They know about you. That is why it is very, very serious situation. Please and please, my dear colleagues, let's know the kind of activities we'll be posting on social media because all those kind of things we are posting, I don't say that directly, but indirectly. Indirectly, if to say a person is interested in gathering information that is going to lead into attack, he's going to gather those information and he's going to attack you with them. You need to be very, very careful. It is not on everything you just take, you post, you post, you post, you post, you post. A lot of all those kind of information. Some people are using their what's it? They're using their date of birth as their password. And once it is their birthday, they will start posting. So something. A lot of things are there. So they will research about you. They know your family. They know your members. They know your working place. They know your boss. So the chances of fooling you are very, very high. A person will try to have access maybe to maybe one of your colleague or one of your friend account, maybe on let's say on WhatsApp. It is very, very common on WhatsApp nowadays. Once a WhatsApp get hacked, he will send you a message. He will claim that he is the real person. Please, I'm in a serious trouble. Can you send me 100,000 naira or 200? My mother is in the hospital so that I can call to confirm. Call to confirm. Is it really him that is requesting that? If it's really him, then you can send. If you call, you ask him, he say he's not the one, then definitely his account has been accessed by somebody else, which is actually that is trying to play with your intelligence into revealing you into maybe give out the money for that instant. So it is actually very, very compound. Spear phishing is very, very compound. You may surprise that a lot of people that are around, or some, they are our family members, because um people are always looking for the how do I put this? How can they take you down? A lot of people are, especially when you are into the business started doing good, they have seen it, and then they will start taking advantage of, especially if they are envy. A lot of things are happening. So let's be very, very careful. So this kind of attack actually happen when somebody know about you very well. You know he can manipulate and claim to be you, maybe to somebody that know you either through your account or through calling via phone or text message or whatsoever. So when you receive such kind of message, please, even if you say it is a message from the person real phone number requesting you to perform a particular activity, call to confirm, is he really the one that is initiating that request? If it's not him, then definitely that person is what is actually trying to pull you into maybe falling victim of a patient. Please, are we together? Okay, okay. Can we proceed?
Yes, we are with you.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
The next is smishing. Smishing scam is very, very common also. Like I say, they are just coming in form of a text message. The criminal know the people that respond to the text instantly. So they will just send you a message. Maybe like for this one, their user we have detect unauthorized access to your account. Some will even try to validate themselves by registering with all those SMS gateway providers, and then try to trick you into falling victim there. So that's why it is very, very important. Not every kind of stuff you see on the internet is a lot of things. A lot of things are fakes. So let's be able to know how to identify them. So this one is claiming it is from the Tiny Teeth Children Dentistry. They sent him a link there, trying to claim that um, they detect unauthorized access to his account, and they has actually limited this for security reason, and they want him to click on a particular link to verify. That's what it entails all the time. So let's be very, very careful. Google search scam. Like I said, yes, a lot of hackers, a lot of scammers will spend a lot of money for search engine optimization just to target you. What's the motivation there? You know that once they gain access, boom, the reward is going to be huge. I can tell you this: a a criminal, let me call it, yes, a criminal, a cyber criminal can spend 4 years gathering information about a particular organization, just studying the organization very well before he launched his attack. The motivation is that he know that definitely once that attack is successful, then he's going to recover all what he spent during the full 4 years. I think few months there was an attack on the U.S. Federal Reserve, which was performed by an anonymous. On a video that was leaked, anonymous claimed that they have been studying the security of U.S. Federal Reserve for over 5 years, and at last they managed to break into it, and they commit uh, a very serious situation there. So, so it is very, very common. You may be surprised, like I said here, you may be surprised that most of the top search engine results, they are phishing links. If you look at it here, look at this one. This one is Benmo sign in. It is redirecting a user to site from google.com. Look at the top. It is coming at the top once you search, but mistakenly once you click on it, you are going to actually be redirected to the not to the real site, but rather to the scammers. Was it hand? So you research on the result, you analyze. Like I said, internet, it is not created by only one person, but rather globally. A lot of people are accessing the internet. You may not know the person you are dealing with on the internet. That is why it is very, uh, very difficult to secure it. The cyberspace is very, very dangerous, actually. A lot of stuff are happening there. So it is with this kind of knowledge, once you acquired, you can be able to at least protect yourself when you find yourself in such kind of situation like this. So let's proceed. So this is very commonplace. Let's take note. Not every link that when we are searching for something, maybe via Google or something, just because of you seeing it come at the top, you click on it. You don't know, maybe there is an SSS vulnerability attached to it. The moment you click on it, it is going to initiate a session, and then the person will have access to your phone or whatsoever device you are using to access it. So it's very common also. Social media scam is very common. Yes, it is, like I said, it is full of fake accounts, most especially on Facebook. Somebody will claim that, please send me your phone number. I will maybe I will recharge you 100 gig or 200 gig or a kind of something like that. So it is not only on Facebook, a lot of social medias actually. Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, Telegram, a lot of stuffs are happening there. So you have to, there is need for us to be extra careful with the kind of person will be receiving a message from and requesting us to perform a particular activity and then proceed to perform it. A lot of Nigerians, I know a lot of Nigerians that used to create an account and trying to be a foreigners. Actually, they will try to be, they will upload the picture of a pass of a white man, and then they will just claim to be them, and then for nothing, just to cause, maybe to take advantage of that, for them to get client that will fall into their harm and at last cause a very serious issue to it. So we have to be very careful. It is not everything you see on the social media that is real. A lot of things are very fake. So always, if you find yourself in such situation that um you have to make a research about it. If you know a friend that is actually into it, you may decide to ask it. And then one important mistake that most people used to make when it comes to all those kind of social engineering stuff is that once it is happened to them, they don't used to tell anybody. They will just keep quiet, just because of they don't want them to be their friend to laugh at them, or maybe do all those kind of stuff like that. It is very good. Once it has happened to you, please try to educate others about it, so that once it come into their end, they can be able to know, this is what my friend already told me, let me be extra careful. Because if you didn't do so, actually they may end up falling victim of the same act that you fall into it. So it is also very common. Let's be very careful. So with regard to this social media stuff that is actually social media scam, I have a basic ideas here. Like I said, the social network site, personal web page, and blog are notorious public sources for personal information. So a lot of things are happening. So once you actually post something, you see we are connected globally. You are here in Nigeria, you will post something on social media. Somebody that is England, somebody that is India, somebody that is in China can easily see it. So once you post, there is no you can take it back. Actually, even with maximum privacy set, the moment you post, let's assume that the person that is actually looking for that information, his eye just go there, and then luckily enough he screenshot it, or maybe you capture the information, and then from there he may decide to use that information to target you. So always think before you post. Like I said, it is not everything. It is not everything that has to be on social media. There are all those kind of secrets there that need to be kept confidential. There is not every stuff that you just keep throwing. You went into vacation, you snap pictures, you sent. You went into a lot of things are happening there. So seemingly innocent information about the interest, like the family, the history, could be used for identity theft by the social engineers. Yes, of course. That is why it is very advisable, if you know that you are using a social media that is exposing, maybe you did not set a personal privacy setting on your social medias, it's advisable to do that. It is not actually advisable to allow some of your personal information be leaked online there. A lot of people can use that uh, to steal your identity and commit a particular crime. So most especially certificates. Yes, exactly. Certificates. You see all those certificates there. School stops there. Even if you will post, please make sure that if there is a digital ID, that is the unique identifier ID that is associated with that particular document, you cover it. By this, what I'm saying is that I'm not preventing people from posting all those things. Yes, it's good to share your success, your progress with families, your achievements, so that um they can help you celebrate there. But always, if there is something that you know is uniquely identifying that particular document, make sure you cover it. It's very, very important. Because if you didn't cover it, what about if somebody copy it exactly and then just go and present it, claim to be you? Even if it is not successful, at last you are the person that you are going to be in trouble. So it's very, very important there. So actually, these are some of the basic things that the bad actors need from us. Your share personal information, private data, such as the date of birth, the year of birth, your child full name, and his birth date. When you are going on vacation, comment on your company business, name of people you work with, and so many other activities like this. That one has to be kept confidential. Last is to say, to be public, that no anyone can see your post, not just family and friends you select. There is a kind of situation whereby you may create you can put it under privacy setting in your account, most especially on Facebook and some other social medias. I'm not that much into social media stuff like that, but I know that there is, for Facebook, there is a place whereby you adjust the privacy setting to allow only what you allow to be exposed there. That's what is just going to be there. So the bad actors actually need those informations. And on no account you shall allow but the bad actors to have such kind of information, because once they have them, they may end up committing a serious issue which you will not be happy with the result actually. Please, are we together? Hope I'm making sense. Hello,
Yeah.
are we together, please?
We are together. Thank you
Yes.
very much. We are really
Okay,
appreciating.
all right. Let's proceed.
We are together.
So, what you should do with regard to this social media, like I said, only post information you will write on banner, display in public places. Set social media privacy setting to maximum, safe private configuration, especially for children, family members, and anything that is associated with you, your organization, and your family. All those kind of information need to be kept very confidential. Don't provide status update on your family members. A lot of people, um, you guys can bear witness now. How many people were get what's it? Were get kidnapped as a result of this? You are a rich person, you go to vacation. Some are just even forming it. They don't have any amount of money. It's just kind of what? They just want to see that they just want to show people that they blow up now, they have money. They will just maybe rent cars, go and do this, snap pictures, and then come and post on social media. Fake life. Yes. Once you do that, it is an intel actually. It is telling the people that yes, you are very rich. That's what you are trying to show to the people. So
Exactly.
how about if the person, even if he's not a social engineer, use that intel that you link and use it to kidnap one of your family members from there? Where will you get the money to go and collect the person? Once you say you don't have money, where are all those exotic cars that we see
Exactly.
the picture inside? You see, it is
Yes.
very social. It is very serious issue. So, like
Obviously.
I said, it is not everything that has to be on social media. I keep emphasizing on this because most people, like I said, you went for vacation, you
Yeah.
post pictures after you get back, all those kind of stuff. Like if you want it to somebody, please send it directly to his DM. Let him view. You went for vacation. I see your pictures like this. You don't have to expose it to the general public to see that you went for vacation. A lot of things has to be kept confidential. So be aware of third-party application that integrate user trust sites, most especially those that initiate login with Facebook. Exactly. It's very, very important because there are a lot of web applications that support Facebook login directly. I have like 3 reports with regard to this. Um, the social media of like 5% get hacked through this way. They visited a site, it is an e-commerce site, they wanted to perform a particular transaction and they see that they can log in. A lot of people used to think that they will prefer to just click on the button to log in via Facebook directly than going out and for a sign-up page, which is very, very wrong. If you know that all those kind of activities that you used to carry out, most especially if you're a person that uh, used to store all those kind of information maybe on social media and so many other stuff like that. Once you visited any website that require you to log in using particular account, please don't do that. That's just my advice. Just head over to their sign up page. If they have it, create account. And the major issue we used to have with people is that somebody will be claiming, I have a master password. Yes, this password that I'm using is the password that is controlling all my online accounts. That one is very, very serious mistake. Like I'm talking to you now, I used to change my entire. I'm a person entails for. I'm a person tasked with controlling a virtual server that is located in the United States while I was here from Nigeria. But as I'm talking to you, every month I used to change my password for all the accounts that I use. Every month, every 30 days, I used to change them. So it is not advisable to be utilizing a single password for all accounts. That one is very, very wrong because once a person have access to that account, that means he can access all the rest of the account. And that is what the attackers are after. And that is what they do. The moment they see that now they use the passwords, let's say some are using phone number for password. I'm coming back to you. The moment they see that they successfully log into this account, they see that they gain access successfully. The next is that they will assume that this person is using a master password. They will go for another account. If they see the access it again, they will go for. That's how they will follow and lock all the account you have. So the best way to protect this is avoid using a single password for controlling all activities online. It is very, very advisable. So let's proceed. QR code also is becoming very, very serious issue. A person will create a QR code on bar, around cafes, and so many other places like this. You will place it, scan to access a free wireless. That's because of you are in need of data. Free wireless. You just go. Yes, they will give you free wireless. Free wireless will give you access to free wireless, but
Yes.
background, they will capture your data. Once you connect, you see there is a security issue that is behind all those kind of stuff there, most especially Wi-Fi that you are seeing, public Wi-Fi. You went to the maybe you went to the cafe or restaurant, you just see a wireless open just because of you are in need of data. A lot of people they used to do wickedness. The moment they connect into all those kind of free Wi-Fi, they will try to initiate an update for all the apps that are there, especially the iPhone users. They used to do that. What you don't know is that yes, he give you data to update all your apps, but at the background, you don't know what is happening. He's capturing all those kind of data that are there. He may decide. What about if he decide to steal your browser cookie from there? If you steal the cookie of your browser, that means you are done. He may decide to use it anyhow there based on his personal interest, based on what he's after. So please and please, whenever you see a QR code, if you don't trust the place, don't scan it. Even if it say free wireless access, don't scan it, please. It's very, very serious. or maybe you scan it for a bonus or a corpse or whatsoever. Another important type of phishing scam that you're supposed to know is phishing. Yes. What does this phishing scam entails? That's where my friend category for it. Hello, I'm calling you from Zenith Bank. On behalf, I'm calling you from customers care. Please, we are trying to rectify an issue with an account, and we are going to send an SMS now. Please, you send us the code, or you call me the code. Please, call me quickly, quickly. Let me resolve this. Bank will never do that, and that kind of scam is what you call phishing scam, and it is very very common. A lot of people are falling victim of it. So, when somebody call you over the phone and asks you to give out an information, somebody that you don't know, even if you know him, please, the moment you see that the kind of information he's requesting definitely are going to allow him to have certain access, you shouldn't give. So the scammers can spoof a phone number to look like identical. There are a lot of virtual phone numbers now. Somebody that was in Nigeria, the issue is escalating always, and the only way to protect ourselves is to have this kind of basic knowledge. Like I said, cybersecurity is for everyone, provided that you are using online services there. It has become very, very necessary for you to have a cybersecurity knowledge. It's very, very important because it is through that you can be able to identify and detect all those kind of issues. A lot of things are happening. We look at them that later. So um, that's actually what these are the 7 types of phishing scam we have. Now coming to the second aspect, how can we protect ourselves from all those kind of phishing attack? We have now done with looking all those kind of the most major common phishing attacks. Like I said, if it is an urgent, don't let the emotion cloud your judgment. It is a saying, call to verify. When somebody call you, claim that he's one of your family members or somebody that you don't know, requesting to give out a certain information regarding you or your organization, call to verify. Email address. Once you receive an email, check the email very well, analyze it. Don't be a rush. Analyze it. Even if they say that they are going to lock up your account, please analyze the email very well. Don't just go just because of out of curiosity. You see that they say they are going to lock up your account, you just proceed and then do what they ask you to do in the email. You are giving them access. So always check the address of the email, the URL. And hackers used to make a mistake. Social engineers used to make that mistake. Spelling mistake is very, very common in phishing emails. So you have to take note of this. Yes, of course, multi-factor authentication play a very, very important role. We have a lot of multi-factor authentication apps. One of the 2 of my favorite are those of Google and that of Microsoft. I use both the 2 there. So for me to access any of my account, actually, if I'm not with my phone, I cannot access it. So I have authenticators there. You guys can also do the same. Download authenticator Google there. Once ever you are accessing any maybe any of your social media or any of the internet services that require you to enable that has the feature of enable multi-factor authentication, please enable it so that even if the attacker manages to have your username and the password to access it, the moment he put them quite all right, he have the username, he have the password, he put them correctly, he don't have the pin that is going to be provided by multi-factor authentication app there. So if he without that, he cannot be able to access your account. So it's very, very important. Look at and analyze the style of the emails you receive. Don't just because of you receive an email, you just proceed to act there. Analyze the style of the email. Think before you click. Think before you click. And lastly, you ask questions. Yes. It's very, very important. If you find something great, you have a friends, you have families, a lot of people are there. Ask them, send them, forward it to them. Please help me check. feeling like this thing is suspicious. If it is legit, you can. If it is not legit, desist from it. Don't go for it. So, coming to discuss about the aspects of the password, yes, it's very, very important to have a password that is uncrackable. I can say it. As you know, there is a password that is very, very simple to crack, and there is the password that used to give the attackers headache. And that one, the certainty of breaking into that password is almost impossible. Why password? Why discussing password? Yes, actually, most of the activities, most of the online services that we used to carry out on the internet will require you to create an account. And what most of you don't know about when creating that account is that if you say your password, you visited an online services and that require you to create an account, and the password you intended to use, let's say for example, for my case, I will just decide to use my name, Aminu. If I use Aminu as the password there, that password is now going to be hashed. I don't think I know that definitely for most of the modern web application, they don't store password in form of a plain text exactly the way you was it the way you give it. That's how it is just based. No, it is not. It is even a hashing algorithm there. So that password is going to be hash. And the major issue that we used to have with this password is that how attackers are actually being easily manipulated into cracking all those kind of password is there is a dictionary attack, there is brute force attack, there is even a rainbow table there. A hacker managed to create a database of list of most of those commonly used password. Somebody was using a very bad combination of a password 12345 6. Haba. Somebody will use phone number. That password are very, very simple to crack. Somebody will use test 123. Some will even use 123. So it is very, very important to know the kind of password you will be using on web applications mostly. So, how long does this password take attackers to be cracked? If you use a 7-character password, within 1 minute, an attacker can break into it. The moment he put John the Rifle there, that's the deal will just be done. Especially if he decides to know the hashing algorithm that was used to hash the password. That is why a lot of companies now are have gone far beyond using only the hashing. They also used to include a saltin into the password before it has been hashed. It is now going to give a saltin and then hash. So once a password, even if you say it is 123, you use 123456, you use it as a password. And that very organization that you are signing up with them are using a saltin algorithm there. So the hashing and the salting are going to be combined. Let's say, for example, like the salting algorithm can be 1 2 maybe for a company, and then once you come and give your password 123456, that 123456 in between, maybe in between 2 characters there, that the salting algorithm is going to be added and then hash the password. So in that regard, even if the attackers manage to have access, they have successfully breached out of that organization, they have access to the database, they have access to the hash password, they cannot be able to break it. So it's very, very important to incorporate Sultan into the password. It's very, very important. So if it is 7 characters within 1 minute, 8 characters 1 hour, 9 characters 3 to 4 days, 10 characters 7 months, 11 characters 40 years, as for the case of 12 characters, it may took an attacker 200 years. Who born him to live for 200 years? You have to just leave that stuff there and then maybe try to find another target. So it is highly recommended to use a 12-character password. Yes, please. I know that we have a lot of stuffs of it, but we can do it. There are a lot of what password manager was it apps that can help us store our password if you to say that we are thinking of forgetting there. And then on no account you should be writing your password on a plain of paper. Maybe to store it there. That one is not recommendable, honestly. So always you can manipulate, try to create a password with a good combination, include lowercase, uppercase, number, and characters. Is very, very important. So that is with regard to the password. So, like I said, to create a strong password, the password need to be long. Use a phrase, and you on no account you should attach it with any of your personal information, like your name or your date of birth. And then, most importantly, don't reuse password. Don't reuse password. Even if you have 10 accounts, try and create different. You see, I know that it is not going to be easy, but by doing that, you are practicing the right thing. You are doing the right stuff there. You are taking steps to protect yourself and your businesses. So don't reuse it, please. So, like I said here, I have some statistic analysis here. 11 billion accounts were stolen from hack site and apps. So even if you have a strong password, it may still be enough there. What normally happen once attackers have access to the database, that is, we have three kind of web. We have the surface web, we have the dark web, and we have the deep web, and we have the dark web. So he may not intentionally hack that organization with the intention of having access or performing any kind of irregular activity there. The intention may be just to hack the organization, um, download the database, and then go to the dark web and sell it there. It is from there another person will use the information to now come and what start attacking you. So you can check if your password is leaked by visiting this site. I have it here. Where is my pen? This one, habeifin.com. If you visit this site, you can check whether your information is leaked there. So from the statistics, as you can see, the P1 website is 306. For the P1 account that was leaked, out of 11 billion, we have 11 billion 800 and something were leaked there. For the first state, we have 114. A lot of stuffs are happening there. So it is that reason. It is in that regard, it is recommended to use a multi-factor authentication to help you protect your account. Even if your password was stolen or somebody managed to have access, he cannot have access to that account without putting the thing that was issued by the by the authenticator app there. So that's why. So even it was stolen, it is successfully leaked during a data breach, you are safe. Nobody can access it. What saved you actually? It is God that saved you, but as a result of action you have taken by putting a multi-factor authentication into it. So it's very, very important. So I know that a lot of you will be eager to ask me a question. What kind of multi-factor authentication you should use? Like I said, the most common is a text-based SMS, but that one is actually less secure because SMS, there is a lot of development in the security aspect where a lot of research show that hackers can now easily bypass SMS verification there or SMS authentication. So it is better and highly recommended to use authenticator apps like Google Authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator, or if they say it is a system you are using, you can use a physical USB key. If you went to the bank, you see them; they are always with a hardware token there. So each and every activity that they wanted to carry out, they have to validate with that token so that the system will be able to understand that it is them that is initiating that request. So it's very, very important. Coming to discuss about this public Wi-Fi, like I said, please, if you see a public Wi-Fi, don't just connect to it just because of it is free. So if you have option to use mobile data plan, that one is better than public Wi-Fi. So criminal often set up a tech Wi-Fi name. You may go to the receptionist, a lot of places, airport and several places there. The hacker will just be sitting down somewhere around where you cannot see him and just create a Wi-Fi very often and then change the name of that Wi-Fi to the name of the organization so that the moment you open it, you see Wi-Fi available. You open your phone, you see, this one is created by this organization. Let me connect it just because it's free. You use it. That one is what you are not helping yourself actually. So for the sake of that, you can actually enable firewall on your device and use VPN. And actually, not every VPN that you should be using. You should try to avoid free VPNs. because some were owned by the criminals. Actually, there are a lot of VPN that was actually intentionally created by the criminals just to have access to your devices. Is very, very important. The next is the ransomware. Ransomware is very, very rampant. And what does this ransomware do in a system or device? It is much more like kidnapping the whole device there, but this one digitally. So when a criminal hack into your computer or network, he's going to lock you off and request for a ransom there. Just like the way kidnappers used to kidnap people and have a call with them, negotiate with them. We want you to send us 60 million naira before we release him. That's how you will be battling with attackers whenever they manage to get you download a ransomware that lock your entire device. And the major issue is that either there is always a condition. All those kind of ransomware, especially the modern ransomwares that we have nowadays, they used to set it on time. Some they will give you 12 hours. Out of that 12 hours, if you do not comply with them, give them the necessary stuff that they need, the whole data that is in the system is going to be deleted. If to say it is device, that's the data is gone. And let's say that it is a server that the hacker managed to successfully install a ransomware into it. And how do you normally get this ransomware into our devices? This is a question that we have to ask ourselves. You see, based on my recent investigation, a lot of people, especially Nigerians, are in the habit of getting free stuffs. It is from there that the malware has been delivered by the hackers to lock our system and a lot of stuff like that. Most of the common way of getting it is through downloading files online, or just because of you are working on a secret, you find USB, maybe USB, yes, USB. It can be a flash drive or whatsoever. You just put it there and you just come home. You don't know who used it. You just took it and then plug it inside your system. Just because of you see a USB cable, a beautiful one, new one, you just took it on ground. You now come, you just connect it with your phone and charge it, start charging it. You don't know there is a kind of a smart USB that used to install a keystroke into the system, which is going to give attacker full access to the device that you are using. A lot of things are happening. Those people that use crack softwares, most of those crack softwares were cracked by criminals. And the intention is that they will support the crack a software for you and then upload it into the internet. Once you download it, the reward is your information. So it's very, very serious situation, honestly. So how to avoid ourselves from all those kind of ransomware attacks there? Number one, don't download file from random website. Make sure that any file that you are going to download, you download it from a legit site. Beware of phishing email with attachments. I talked about phishing email previously. Another important thing to understand is that on no account you should use your company email or password for personal stuff. Stop using that. If you are doing that, then definitely you are endangering that organization. That's why companies have a lot of policies. And if to say all the policies are now being put into use, I can tell you a lot of things are going to be, a lot of cleaning up is going to be done in the cyberspace. But we are not following the policies. That's the problem. So always personal email for personal stuff, company email for company stuff. Don't match the two places. Another important stuff, don't store password in text file or spreadsheet. That one is very, very dangerous. Don't do that. Don't do that. Or on Fiverr, don't do that. Another important aspect, coming to talk about the USB safety, like I said, avoid charging avoid public charging stations. Most of them are being compromised. Don't plug any USB that isn't yours into your device. On no account you should do that. Even if it is 100 terabytes, don't plug it. Especially if you know you're watching on a famous organization, because they may intentionally research about you, know that you are a staff, and then they know where you used to pass every day. They will just drop a USB for you. Once you took that USB, you plug it into your computer. You take it to a place up, you connect it to the network. That's all.
Hmm.
They will definitely get what they want. So please and please don't do that. Encrypt the data on a USB drive in case of loss, or it is recommended always to get a backup. Backup plan is very, very good. So apart of that, we are going to look at a scenario here, which you call a wire fraud. What does this wire fraud entail actually? It is also very, very common nowadays. It entails tricking into wiring money to a fraudulent bank account. Believe most of you are BTU owners. A lot of things are happening, especially at this kind of situation. People will steal ATM cards. They will now try to transfer the money into the BTU wallet of their own. You have to be very, 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 very careful about this. It is happening. It is becoming dangerous. Go and commit crime, steal the card. You now come and empty the whole card and then transfer the money into the BTU wallet. Then later they will call you. We made a mistake in initiating this transaction. Please send us back when the money was settled or something like that. Please send us back the money. Don't do that.
But wait, like, if can I
You
say
have that.
something?
You say
Hello, can I say
yes.
something? Okay, Monify have a feature called refund. If we click on the refund, the money will
Mm.
reverse back to the bank that sent the money.
Yes, actually, they used to do that. Don't worry. When we come to Q&A session, we are going to discuss about that. But as of now, let's
Oh,
let's finish what we
okay,
started.
okay,
So
okay,
it may be in form of a
okay.
request urgently, maybe from your CEO. A criminal will impersonate him and then send you an email via his account there. That's why I always emphasize call to confirm, call to confirm, call to confirm. It's very, very important. They hack one of your vendors and send you invoice with bank information for you to give payment to them. And once you give, it is not the vendor you send the money. You send the money to the criminal. In that situation, I will not be. I'm not doing. You trick into wiring money to fraudulent bank. The bank may not be there to help you. A lot of commercial banks, in fact, almost any fintech industry are of the habit that once ever you are get scammed through them, they will claim that they can't do anything for you. But there are some ways that you have to take. There are some measures you have to take for you to recover such kind of money in that case. Measures like reporting to the central bank, the NDCI, and so many other stuff like that. I'm not much into that, but a lot of people have tried that and the money gets recovered. So always know the kind of people you will be transacting with online is very, very important. So for the avoidance of doubt, call and verify the money request. Once you receive a money request from anybody, call to verify. Call on non-number that need before that actually the number that was used to contact you, not the person. If you have the real number of the vendor, call him, ask him, is he the one that is requesting the money? Verify the bank info that match one on the file actually. It's very, very important. That is why it is recommended to each and every business owner to register his business and get his corporate account. It is advisable, even for the sake of protecting your identity, is very, very important. Register your business is very important. It comes with a lot of benefit. Once you register your business, the moment when you come to transact with somebody, you see that you give him an account that is bearing the name of your business, you know definitely it is you. He's going to find fees. he's going to have a piece of transacting with you. And talk less of sending a normal personal bank account. That one should look somehow actually. So it's very, very advisable. Call, verify any request changing information like the phone number, address, or bank info. Always verify that before you initiate the transaction. It's very, very important. So that's come to an end of the first session. The theoretical aspect regarding the social engineering. And then I think we can proceed to the second aspect. Yeah. Are we together, please?
We
are
are we still
together.
with you?
Yes, sir, we are together.
Yes, yes.
But
Yeah, with
please,
you.
we need
Abi,
this
you want to
flyer.
go for break?
For
Do you want to go for break?
break?
Uh,
Are you going for break? No, I'm not going for break. I'm just going to use
Don't mind them. Don't
the
mind them.
second
Sir,
machine
continue.
so that we
Continue.
can get the second part of the session. Okay.
Please,
okay.
how
I
can I
wanted to
get the
share this
slides?
before, but all of you said
If you need the slide later, you can get it through the.
we'll share it in the group. Don't worry.
Yes, exactly. We'll do
I
that.
So
wanted to
please,
share this
please,
sheet
I
before,
need
but
it
let's
very, very
continue.
serious. Please,
Okay.
the slide is very important. I want
Okay.
to do this lecture
Don't
for my
worry, we'll
staff. It's
share it
very
in the
important.
group.
Okay, no problem. We see to that.
We'll share it
Thank
in the
you.
group.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, you can
Thank you
proceed.
very much.
Okay, I'm coming, please. Let me on the other machine. I'm using two machines actually. Okay.
It's not easy.
You are going to learn something physically. You are going to learn something practically about social engineering today. Let me join.
Wow.
Let me join
This is very interesting.
Let me join this. Coming. Have to put this one on mute so that. So actually, so once again, you are all welcome to the second session. I'm now on my second machine. I'm going to share my screen with you so that we get down into the business. Like I said, the session is divided into two. We have the first session covering the theoretical aspect, and then we are going to look at the latest steps that the attackers are using into tricking people to fall a victim into all those kind of social engineering stuffs, which is very, very important. So there is a kind of a collaboration now or a kind of unionship because the moment an attacker visited a site that you don't know, but you are transacting with them, what that very person will try to do is he will try to detect whether the site is having a cross-site security attack. That is what is going to lead us to discuss a bit about SSS, because in this attack we are going to carry out, it is going to be through cross-site attack, cross-site security attack. We are going to invite a payload that is going to give us access to the attacker's browser actually using the BIP program. So what this cross-site security attack entails briefly, it normally allow a user to inject a JavaScript code into the page. JavaScript is very, very powerful programming language. Some of you bear witness that are into it, and it is being used to manipulate system in a way you cannot even imagine. So the code get executed normally once the load page. And for that matter, we have three different kind of cross-site security attack. We have the persistent store SSS, we have the reflected SSS, and we have the DOM SSS. So each and every one of them is very, very dangerous. For the first one, persistent or store SSS, it is normally being stored within the HTML content of that particular website. For the reflected, it is actually being reflected, embedded into link, so that once you click, it is just going to reflect. And once ever it reflects, that is going to give an attacker access to the machine. The most dangerous one, which I care the most, is the third one. That is the DOM-based SSX, because this one goes directly to the database. And it is also happen as a result of mistake by the developers in developing a web application. If they manage to leave any aspect of a web application that is vulnerable to cross-site security attack, once attacker manage to have access to that aspect, he may decide to put that JavaScript code, which is going to allow him to hook into the browser. And so when every user visited the site, the code is going to get executed. A lot of cases, you may receive a kind of a user registration, mostly on BTU. Instead of name, you see a code, maybe all those kind of stuff like that, and they will try to trick you in. Maybe go to my, maybe some they will tell you that they forget their thing. They want you to go and maybe try to retrieve their thing just for you to open the page. And normally, once you open the page, the code is going to be executed, and they will hook into your browser. And then by hooking into your browser, they can have access to the to other stuff that are there related. So I believe that is what we are going to look at. So this is actually how it is done. The nature of discovering of such kind of vulnerability, it is always a target URL that is requesting for a particular page in form of this link that I give here. So briefly, we are out of. So what the attacker will try to do here is will try to inject this in the first place to identify whether the place is vulnerable into accepting a secret. So normally, once you do this and the vulnerability is there, he may decide to proceed and hook into the browser for him to get advanced access to it. So this is in brief what we are going to look at. We are going to look at how we can be able to carry out a cross-site scripting attack in relation to social engineering, because that's what the attackers mostly are using nowadays. So stay with me. I have a vulnerable program because I'm on my lab that I intend for demonstration purpose. For the sake of this session, I'm going to use a BIP. Yes, we have a BIP browser. Let me search. There is a program called BIP. This one, which is going to allow you to hook into the browser for you to get access. Please, are we together? Are you following me?
Yes, yes, yes. We are
Yes,
together.
sir, we are together. Thank you very much.
Okay. So let me open the program. What happened? Are you still loading? Let me put my password. It is going to start. So actually, if you look at it here, there is a URL example that was given to us. We have the web UI URL, which it is this. Once we click on this, it is going to allow us to access the cPanel for the big browser. Let me copy the link because I want to access it. In this, for the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to use this Chrome as my attacking browser. I'm going to use Firefox for as the victim browser, and then we see how it is going to work. So this is deep, like I said, it's going to open. So once it is open, and like I said, we are going to relate this to cross-site security attack by injecting a code that is going to allow us to hook into the browser and be sending malicious command from there. So please pay attention to it. So like I said, this is going to be the attacker's browser, and then I have another browser here using this damn vulnerable app, BBWA. What I'm going to do now is, let me get a test editor like Luma. So if I come back to my terminal here, if you look at it, I have a hook URL that is supporting JavaScript. So this URL that I have here, I'm going to copy it. I'll copy this. I'll go back to my test editor. That's what I'm going to modify. So this place, where IP address is written, I'm going to replace it with the IP address of the attacker because I'm attacking. So for that, I have to get my IP address from the terminal. So let me do it config. If I do it config, I'm going to get my BMnet1 IP address, which is 192.168.159.1. So I'm going to copy this IP address. Once I copy this IP address, I now come back here. So inside this URL, what I'm going to try to do now, I'm going to replace this place where IP is written with the IP address I get. I will test it. So I now have the port that is being used by the BIP is port 3000. So now we have the URL 192.168.159.1 against port, and then we have the file which stored the hook there, that is named as hook.js. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to inject this into the attacker's browser, and then from there exploit it there so that I can be able to hook the browser. So we are going to hook Firefox against Chrome. So this place is vulnerable, and for the practical demonstration, it's no good to be launching attack. I will have maybe make it real, but just for demonstration purpose there. So let me reload this URL to ensure that, yes, I will definitely log in out. So I log in back. Now come to SSL reflected. I'm now going to try to inject this secret into this code. So here, before that, let me check. Yes. This app was intended vulnerable for those that are intended into learning penetration testing. So that's what we use to train our students there with it. It is a vulnerable lab for practical demonstration there. So I now put this secret. I'm going to click on submit. So once I click on submit, I now have this URL. You see, normally what this does is that when you type your name, it's just going to say hello followed by your name. But now I'll inject a secret there instead of name. So what will happen now is that if I come to this URL and I copy this URL and then try to create an email, attach it with this URL, try to make you click on this link. Whoever click on this link, whoever click on it, his browser is going to get hooked. And from there, I can be able to send malicious command to the browser. So if you go back to the Firefox, and you see what happened, this browser that I inject the code in, it is now online. And you see the browser is online. 192.168.159.1 is online. These are some of the browsers that I use for previous practical Windows 10. So this one is Linux. As you can see, the image of Linux is being shown there. So with this now, the attacker can be able to be sending malicious command, which is going to trick you into revealing some of the other information, as we are going to see it now. So let me click on this IP address. From this IP address, if you look at it, we have some basic information. Like I said, information gathering is very, very important. So even the PSP session ID is exposed, which is very, very dangerous. All what I need is here. But I'm not much more interested into this detail. I will just head over to the command section of it. So under the command section, if you look at it there, we have social engineering at the bottom. So I'll click on social engineering. So once I click on social engineering, as you can see, there are a lot of exploits which I can use to further exploit the browser there. What I'm much more interested in is what normally the attackers intend to use. There is what we call thefts. There is this exploit which we call pretty thefts. What this exploit normally will do is that it's going to allow you sending a malicious activities to the browsers, to the victim browser there, which you are going to, if tier is not taken, you just assume that it is real, and then you may proceed to give your information, and that is what is after. So if I click on this pretty kit, by this side, if you look at it, we have dialog here.
Under this dialog, once I click on it, you see we have Facebook, we have LinkedIn, we have Windows, we have YouTube, we have Yammer, we have iOS, we have generic. So let's assume that we want to we want to claim that um, for this attack that we are going to launch, we're just going to claim that the person maybe everybody is using Facebook. So how about sending a pop-up message to tell the client that his Facebook session has ended. He has to log in again without showing anything since he hooked into the browser. This one is just for social engineering aspect. There are other advanced exploits you may tend to carry out there. So if I decide to say that I'm going to use this URL, I will execute this command. If I send the command, now the command is sent. Once we come back to the DBW, can you see what happened? Can you see? We hook the browser. After we hook the browser, we are now able to send content through the client browser. If you look at it here, is there any URL that you can testify that this is, you may assume that this is directly from Facebook. It says that the session has timed out due to inactivity. Please re-enter your username and password to log in. What does the attackers is targeting in this case? Is targeting the email or username and the password for the Facebook that very person is using. So if you put the detail here, let's assume the password is this bad combination 1 2 3 4 5 6, and for the username or email, let's say Omar is the username or the email that is being used by the person there. So if you click on login, you see what happens? Nothing happened there. But at background, if you come back to this browser there, you come to this last command number 7, and you see what happens. We have the data that we are sending. Email 1 2 3 4 5 6. It is through this method the attacker will now have access. Now took this detail and log into your account successfully, and then maybe from there commit any kind of activity that he wanted to commit there. So apart of that, if you say he's not going to use an exploit for Facebook to exploit you. And one thing to understand about this is that this is not only limited to this. You can also create your own personalized page based on the intel you gather with regard to that person that you are targeting and attacking. If he's a fan of using, you just have to find some. That's why I say information gathering is very, very important. So if you choose to, the person is very fan of YouTube, you decide to execute YouTube command against the browser. If you execute the YouTube command, once you come back to we have the session there. So the best way to protect this and to prevent yourself is that a lot of pop-ups are coming up when you set aside. On no account, you should give your information there. Whenever you see a session telling you that your session time out, if you are not on that particular app, don't give out the detail for the session to continue. Don't do that. If you do that, the detail is going to attacker's phone directly, and from there he may decide to exploit. So this one is just a kind of a practical, simple demonstration of how the attackers are harvesting people information from, because you cannot know that. It's just like a normal page with username and the password input. So you just put your detail and much more stuff like that. So with this, I'm going to end the presentation. Very sorry for consuming much of your time.
Continue till
I'm
tomorrow.
going to end the presentation with a movie. Yes, to watch movie. There was this. There was something I want you to learn from this movie here.
Given nickname, the world's most famous hacker. Sir, or once considered the world's most famous hacker, the most wanted man.
Can you hear the sound, please?
Correct? Yes. Back in the
Yes,
1990s,
yes.
I was the world's most wanted hacker. So I was being chased by the FBI, the U.S. Marshal Service. I became involved in hacking for the intellectual curiosity. I was getting into these cell phone companies to look at the source code of the firmware of the chips that are in these cell phones. I was arrested in 1995. I was released in 2000, so that was 5 years without using a computer.
I'm here today, proud and honored to be here, actually, with my friend Kevin Mitnick. Kevin calls yourself. You call yourself an ethical hacker. Is that
Not
right?
an ethical hacker, a certified ethical hacker.
What is that?
Well, I passed this test years ago. It's basically a test to see your skill set at security and networking and this sort of thing. And so when you pass this test, you get this thing called the CEH. So I joke when people ask me, because of my unique background, they go, "Oh, are you ethical these days?" And I go, "Well, I'm certified ethical," right? So it's kind of a joke, but...
Well, knowing you, it's not a bad question to ask, right? I mean, you've got a little bit of a history.
It was never about money. It was never to cause damage. It was never to write malware. It was all the intellectual curiosity. I had this great passion for wanting to know the trick, to the secret to the trick, and pursuit of knowledge. I was in solitary confinement for almost a year because a prosecutor told a judge that I could whistle into the phone after calling a modem at NORAD and launch a nuclear weapon. And I was held in this was the time I lived in, so I kept myself mum. And so when I did this congressional testimony, people say, "Hey, this guy actually knows what he's talking about," and that's when I kind of almost, during that time, launched.
We will go directly to the place that I want you guys to watch.
Okay.
Get this
It's all right.
but you know what?
Kevin Mitnick's keynote was fantastic.
That was this was Kevin Mitnick. For the case of those that don't know him,
I was impressed.
he died recently, some months back.
USB exploit.
Here we have what looks like an ordinary lightning cable, but you know what? This is actually a malicious cable that can inject keystrokes onto your computer, download malware, and infect it. So, how would a bad guy get this cable into your organization? Well, they can do it physically. How many people have cables that are plugged in around their desk, in their drawers? What about an attacker that would buy a company employee a Pixel 3 phone that's coming out next week and actually shrink wrap the cable inside the box? And this sort of thing. There are many different ways a bad guy can get the cable inside the organization. So what happens when you plug in a malicious cable into your computer? Well, let me show you what happens.
Let's
So
learn
what we're
something
going
from
to do
Kevin
is we're going
Mitnick.
to take this cable, we're going to plug it into this Windows 10 laptop. And this Windows 10 laptop has the latest release of McAfee antivirus. Its security patches have just been applied today. This is typically what you would see in an organization. Over here, we have the attacker computer. You see this big white screen? When this computer becomes infected, we're going to see a connection from the malware over here. Now, does this cable actually work? Of course. If we take an iPhone, we plug it in, it actually charges the iPhone. Over here on the Windows 10 laptop, you see that iPhone has popped up. So let me show you how this works. What we have here is we have the Bluetooth transmitter that's going to command the cable to inject keystrokes to download malware for Windows 10. So here we go. And look at the lower left-hand corner of the screen. Those are the keystrokes that are being injected. And now the machine's infected with malware. And on the left-hand side here, we'll see the Trojan pop up in 1 second. There it is. So now, with this remote access Trojan, the attacker has full control of the victim's laptop. So what have we learned? We've learned that sophisticated attackers come up with new methods to hack their targets. So how do you prevent this attack from being successful against you or your organization? Simple. You need to stop, look, and think before you play. We wound up in a situation where we're incredibly vulnerable.
So, actually, this come to an end for my presentation and the practical session. I hope you guys have learned a lot.
Yeah, we learned a lot. You guys should show some appreciation.
Wow. This is very, very amazing lecture. We will like. I never even
Well,
experienced lecture like this before. Wow,
yeah, yeah.
very.
Please let's just give him
Wow,
fire.
wow,
Let's give
wow.
him love. Let's appreciate him. Let's appreciate him.
So
Let's
Thank you very
appreciate.
much. We
we
really,
can proceed
it's
to
really.
the next
Mr.
session, I think.
Aminu, we say a very big thank you. We appreciate you for your time. For the section. I think
Thank you, sir.
every one of us have learned something this night. That's my belief. Yeah. The section was so I don't even know the English to use and
So
qualify.
sweet. Your use was sweet.
It's more than sweet.
Wow, is anyone that sweet?
Bro, I learned a lot. I learned a lot.
Honestly, we enjoy it very
Yes,
well. Thank you so
because
much.
I
Yes.
remember I can
But
remember
I would love to
one
get the
thing.
slide because I need
We,
to go again and again. I will learn this thing very well.
all
Yeah,
right,
we'll
no
try to
problem.
send the slide to the group. We'll make sure we
Okay.
send
Looking
it.
forward to have you
So
again next
before
time,
we
sir.
end the section tonight, guys, I believe we understand the night section and we all really enjoyed. So I don't know if any of us here have a question for Mr. Aminu. Any question?
Mm,
Mr. Abiola, you are raising up your hand. I think you have a question.
All right, good evening.
Hey, Benin.
So, Mr. Aminu, thank you for the presentation. It was a big way. I appreciate and everybody appreciates it. My question is there any difference between the word HTTPS slash the uh, number, what's it called? HTTPS slash the site name and the word HTTP without S? Is there difference there? And what's the difference between UTC and www? That's my question.
All right. Regarding this question you asked, there is a lot of sites now used to tend to install what you call an SSL certificate, thinking that um they can outsmart the hackers. The attacks now is beyond using SSL certificate. I have to tell you this. You may receive a malicious link that have SSL and everything attached to it, but at the end, you may come to realize that it is not real. So the difference between the site that is having HTTP single without S and the one that is having HTTPS is SSL certificate. What does that SSL certificate do? That's what is actually validating the request that is being sent to that site. Maybe once you visited a site, it is recommended that you check for SSL, quite all right. And most of the sites that are having that S, that is indicating that the SSL certificate is successfully installed into the site. While those that does not have that S, then definitely indicating that there is no SSL certificate on the site. On the site. Second question you asked, WW actually represents the World Wide Web, and there is an association between the HTTPS and the WW you asked about. What's the relate the two together is that the that's the World Wide Web. It is being managed almost all the people that are on the internet on one way or the other. And for the HTTP request to be sending, maybe you visited a site, you are trying to retrieve a basic information, maybe about a particular thing or a particular stuff. That request that you are sending to communicate the site, you are sending it through the World Wide Web with the help of HTTP requests. So normally once you visited a site, you initiate a request, the type of request that you are going to send there, it is definitely going to be HTTP. So it is that HTTP request that is going to try to capture the information you requested and then come back and give you the result, all under the envelope of World Wide Web. That is the WW talk about. So that's just the difference. The two are interrelated, but each and every one of them have a specific function with JavaScript. We use HTTPS for communication to web application on daily basis, while the World Wide Web was it actually hosted the whole communication aspect of the HTTPS. That's what I can say regarding the question you asked. Hope you get satisfied.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
And another question,
Mm.
another question is this: who has a certified
You say? I can hear you
you?
well.
Hello?
Look like you're on the way or what?
No, 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 no. I'm not the
Okay.
one. Is that one? Oh, can you hear me
Okay.
now, please?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. I said you as
Mm.
a cyber security personnel. Is
Mm.
it possible to test when your site is about to be hacked, or it is not possible? And the
Um,
reason for this is
actually,
I con-
I can say yes. Like I
okay,
started, maybe if you're with me when I start the session, I said, you see, when it comes to an issue of securing the cyberspace or any of the maybe you have a data BQ company that you manage with a lot of subscribers there.
okay,
It is the responsibility of you, the owner. You have a role to play when it comes to securing the web application. The same thing, the end users, the subscribers you have, they have a role to play. The person that developed the site, they have the role to play. So from my end, as a security personnel, I may do my best to see that I secure that web application without any vulnerability for it. Maybe minimizable because there is no system that is 100% secure. No any system. Whoever tell you this, there is a system that is 100% secure, he's telling you lie. Honestly, no any system that is 100% secure. What we are all doing is we are managing the risks. We consider the risk and then we consider the nature of the risk to see if it is manageable. If it is manageable, then fine, we can deploy the app. And then from our end, we try to see that we've done our best to see that that web application is at least secure to 90%. Because you can't get 100%, honestly. A person will now come and perform penetration testing, secure all the flaws today. Tomorrow, another vulnerability will pop off. So, security is everyone's responsibility. You can secure your system. From my end, I can help do penetration testing on the system, secure it, developer, do a good coding practice for the site, secure it, and then one of your end users will give you a problem which is going to be used to attack the site and gain access. So you all have a role to play, honestly. That's also what I would say regarding this.
okay. Thank you. Let me put
Yeah,
it up here tonight. I really
well,
appreciate you and everything. God bless you.
thank you
Okay,
so much.
thank you. Can we have one or two questions before we go? It's already
Okay,
late.
hello. Please, I want to ask a question, sir.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Ewa.
Thank you so much, boss. I mean, we really enjoy this knowledge, and we really appreciate you. So,
Thank you.
although I join you very late, so there is one question I want to ask.
Okay, sir.
There are many sites
Mm,
that, for instance, most of them they are even government official sites. But
mm,
when you try to access the site, it
mm,
will warn you that you will allow to it will allow to access your Google information. And if you
mm,
block, they will just reject you or they will throw you away from the website.
mm.
I came across such websites, so that's my question. Uh, when it comes to the website, maybe is official or is can we allow them to access our Google information? Is it safe?
Actually, that one is depend on the website you visit. You know, in some
Okay.
situation, like in Google Meet, in Google Form, there are some kind of plugins that you may tend to use when if you are used to Google Form, you know it. Um, you may come to use a certain plugin, and that plugin will require full access of your drive for you to be able to utilize the plugin. If you trust them, You know that, yes, I can tell you this. You see, this government, it is our country. We too, we all know it. We know the situation, know what happened. There are a lot of sites that are owned by government that are vulnerable. And we know that there is the vulnerability, but there is nothing you can do. Because and actually, that's what I keep emphasizing on. Once ever you say that you today, we have a lot of book bounty hunters that used to hunt for books, reports for them to get fed. But today here in Nigeria, a lot of sites, especially governmental organization site, once you perform a penetration test or a book bounty hunting there, you get the biggest vulnerability of the art from there. Instead of to reward you with a bounty, from there, then that is when they will attach you with the EFCC to start investigating your matter. You are getting yourself into the trouble. While other countries are not doing that, it is better to do a book bounty hunting in other countries than to do it in Nigeria here, because this issue is very alarming. So the point I'm trying to make here with regard to this question is that it depends on the site. You know the site you visit. It is a government site. For what purpose you visit the site? Are you trying to initiate a registration with them with a particular application or something like that? Then if that's so, then definitely you can give them access. But if you are not actually requesting for a particular services that you are going to perform on that particular, I'm not recommending you give. So that's just what I will say regarding this question you asked.
Okay, thank you
Okay,
so much.
Mr. Niku, I think you have a question.
Okay, last one.
Hello, sir.
This is the last question,
Okay.
please.
Yes. Hello, I'm with you.
Please, I have a question.
Okay.
Can I go on?
Yes, we can go on.
Like, like me, I know any, I don't know anything about VTU stuff like this. But what is the advice of people that is not have any idea about security stuff? Because all these things that I was explaining, like not everything I understand. But it is advisable for someone someone like me, since I don't have any knowledge about this stuff, to have maybe someone that will be guiding me to like our developer. It is advisable.
Mm. Yes, that's why actually organizations have to take measures.
Are you
The
get my
correction.
point?
Yes, I get it. It's like somebody that will be guiding you into discovering all those kind of advanced threat like this. If I get your question, is that what you are asking? Is that?
Yes,
Then
because
if
it is
that is
not
the case, there are a lot of webinars that
everybody.
have been held for the purpose of enlightening people about all those kind of security related stuff. You can make research. The internet is there. A lot of knowledge is there on the internet. You can research. We have a lot of them. And regarding to the developers part, actually, organization have to take measures
Okay.
of training person of the security or the security team of the organization have to take charge of training developers into practicing a good coding practice for the in order to ensure that the was it the security of that particular application that they intended to develop at least maintain to a minimum standard. So that one will also help organize. Like I say, everyone have a role. You have a role. I have a role. The developers have. Everyone have a role. If you come collectively, you can make the internet a safer place and so also secure our stuff that related to internet activities. So
Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you. We really appreciate you.
Before
Mr.
ending, I have a suggestion. I wanted to request for something, please, if possible.
You want to do what?
I wanted to request something, if possible.
Okay, what's that, sir?
Due to time factor, I was unable to meet up with the time, and I came very, very late. That's why I said that if possible, can we have some recap of slides so that we can go through it about the session?
Yes, we already said that we are going to send in some slide to the group. Are you in the Techo Point community?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry. We are going to send the recap of the session to the group and some slides.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So, everyone, we really appreciate you for your time and thank Mr. Aminu for what you have done today. In the
Thank
absence
you
of
so
more
much.
questions, if you have more questions, let us drop it in the group. I think
Yes.
he is also in the telco point community. He's going to uh, get back to us. He's going to respond to all our questions. I really appreciate you. I think Ibrahim Yusuf, are you here? Ibrahim. Okay, I think we should call it a day. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Have a night sleep.